What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The year now is 1995. In this year, we experienced the return of Michael Jordan to basketball as he comes out of retirement. Disney's Toy Story was released this year, as it revolutionized CGI movies. eBay launched on this year as well. And speaking of computers, Windows 95 released as it also incorporated Internet Explorer, which I still even have my copy to this day.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
It's 1995. I only got a few games in 1995 for my Sega Game Gear. And like I said in my last video, the Sega Game Gear just doesn't work. I have very few games for the system. I'm going to do something very different this year because I'm going to play a system I never got as a kid. First, let me talk about the games I did have in 1995. Before I forget, let me get rid of this thing because I got to fix this thing too. And this year we're just holding it off because there's something else I want to do for this video. Alright, so let's talk about the games I did have, and that is, the first one I'm going to talk about here is Stargate. This is, I think, was another one of my dad's games. He likes space stuff. He likes things that have space travel or anything that has to do with space. He liked this movie, along with also my uncle. He liked this movie. We got this Stargate game. It was fun. It's kind of like Tetris in a sense. What you have to do is that you have to get 7 symbols to line up, and once you get the 7 symbols, it kind of clears the board and everything like that. But the thing is, though, it's very confusing. I kind of played it as though it was Tetris, so what I try to do is match up the symbols and everything like that to get the plate cleared and whatnot. Very confusing on how I cleared it all. It was very... I couldn't wrap my head around it. Probably somebody's going to explain what it is. I don't know, but it was fun. It's just got very boring after a while. There is a story behind it. It's kind of like a strategy between, you go through space and you have to play, have to do the whole, finding symbols and whatnot. And then if you win, you win a spot for like D for Daniel, I think. And if you lose, you have R for Raw. And that's pretty much it. I think it kind of follows the story from the movie a little bit. But other than that, it's just a puzzle game, pretty much for handheld. I remember playing this one a lot. It gets boring after a while. I'm glad to have it finally back. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is actually one of the ones I saved. Somehow all my Game Gear games just disappeared, and I only was able to keep 2. It's this Stargate one and the other one I have over here. Glad to still have this one in my collection. It's a fun game. It's just, it gets boring. I want to play the Sega Genesis one. I remember that one. Moving on to the next game we have here, and that is... This is one I got for Christmas. I remember because I was really into comic books at the time, and that game here is X-Men. What's funny about this one, I still even have the cards from the package. I never opened them, but I still have them, which was just like... And the only reason I know these are the cards that go with this game is because in the back here, it says Sega Game Gear, which I'll show, I'll show later, but yeah. So that's why I know those cards belong to this. Sat down, got this one played. This is another one, like I said, I saved from back in the day. This is my original copy, so I'm glad to still have that one in my collection. All right, with that down, we would have done a spin, but again, there's something I want to do different in this video. All right, next game we have here is Sonic Triple Trouble. This one I played a lot as a kid. That was one of the things I wanted to do when I got back a Game Gear. I wanted to find Sonic Triple Trouble because this is one of the ones I wanted to play so bad. And the reason I wanted to play this one was because of Knuckles. You get to see him in the game. Of course, I don't think you really got to play him. I never had a chance to really beat this one. This is actually one of the ones I just got recently, so I haven't had a chance to really sit down and play this one. I'm glad to get this one. I played a little bit of it. I know it's going to be a bit difficult, so probably more than likely I'll have to use emulation to beat it. Glad to have this one back, in my collection. Alright, to get to the point of the video. That was one of the last ones I got. I'm probably not going to do any more Sega Game Gear stuff because I don't have that many games and I don't want to really buy games to a system I can't play. However, there was one system I always wanted since I was a little kid, and that was the Sega Genesis. Ever since I saw my friend's Sega Genesis and he played Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Street Fighter Turbo, ever since I saw him play that, I knew I wanted one so bad. Got me a nice one in the box still. And with that, this game here, I sat down and played, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I remember my friend playing this one a lot. This is the only Sonic game he had. I remember Sonic 3, but, you know, I didn't know anybody else who had a Sega Genesis at the time. Everybody else was, like, you know, played Nintendo. He was the only one I knew that had a Sega Genesis. He played Sonic 2 a lot. I played a little bit, and I was thinking, like, if I ever had a chance to get a Sega Genesis, this is one of the games I want to get. You always get to level 2. I remember the level 2 so much, and also I also remember him playing that one 3D-like running stage. That was so cool. Yeah, I always remember him playing, like, it even shows it on the back here, the top one. It shows the city zone. I remember him playing that a lot. I don't remember him always going past that. Of course, I would always have to leave, you know, get back home and whatnot. Finally was able to pick me up a copy. I'm going to sit down and play this one because I also got something else that I've been dreaming about playing for years, and I finally was able to pick me up one, and I can't wait to talk about it because I've been wanting to play this system, not only the Sega Genesis, but there was another system I wanted to play that goes with the Sega Genesis that I've been dreaming of playing for years, and I was finally able to pick me up one. And there's one specific game I've been dying to play, and if I ever talked about 1995 again, that was the game I was going to play. So here it is, Knuckles Chaotix on a 32X. Finally found me a 32X. I've always wanted to do something that required me to go back in time, replay a lot of games, only to get to this point right here. And the reason being is because of one little magazine. And I still have that magazine here. It's a little beat up. I'll show the cover to what it is. I forgot the name of the magazine. It might have the name of it in here. But anyways, because of this magazine here, I've been dreaming to play Knuckles Chaotix ever since I saw this here. I'll never forget, reading this as a kid, going through these pages, seeing how the whole colorfulness of what the 32X could bring. I was pumped to play Knuckles Chaotix until I figured out that you had to have an add-on attachment to it, the 32X, and you also have to have a Sega Genesis, which was super expensive at the time, and it was just not going to happen with how things were going to go. But I always wanted to play Knuckles Chaotix. This was the one game I've always wanted to play. I want to talk about it real quick before I actually do go play it. I also have some other games for the 32X. I have here is Cosmic Carnage, box copy of Doom, and a box copy of Star Wars, the arcade. But yeah, I've been wanting to play on the 32X ever since 1995. I've been dreaming about playing the 32X ever since 1995. This, like the title says, this dream has been alive since 95. So anyways, enough talking. Let's get to playing these games. This is the reason why I did not want to do the wheel this year, is that I wanted to play these games right here. So we're going to take some time out, play these games, and I'm going to talk about it after I'm done. So let's cut to that right now. Well, I guess that dream is still a dream. Yes, my 32X I bought a while back, it doesn't work. Now, I know it did work at one point in time, because me and my friends played that game Cosmic Carnage at one point in time, so I knew it worked, but now it just doesn't. And I've tried everything. I tried putting it in different Sega Genesis systems. I tried cleaning it. I tried everything that I could think of. I thought maybe the cables weren't connected right. Whatever I could do, it just didn't work. It would do this. It would turn on and show the logo and then just go to black. And I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do. I tried everything. I really thought maybe it was just the Sega Genesis, or maybe it was just the TV. I put it on a different TV, a different CRT TV. Nothing. I don't know what to do. Okay, so here's the thing. I wouldn't be so upset about it if I just had the 32X and these games here. They're not really these games here are not that good. I heard the Doom is not really good on there. Maybe the Star Wars arcade one possibly could have been good, but other than that, the other ones, it would have been fine. I would have gotten rid of this system and got rid of all that. But the one game I've been dying to play literally since 1995, and it's been almost 30 years, is just this game. This wouldn't be so bad if Sega had just re-released the game itself. Sega has released the Sonic Collection, I don't know how many times. You can always pick up the Sonic Collection somewhere. Heck, you can even get all of the Sonic Game Gear games. You can play all the Sonic games on the Sega Genesis, Sonic CD, but the one technically a Sonic game that you cannot play, as far as my knowledge, is Knuckles Chaotix. This is the one game that has not been re-released of any form as far as I know. And I have not seen any compilations. I'm not seeing any re-releases, nothing. And it's the only game that I've been wanting to play literally since 1995. And I should have played it when I had a chance. I bought it back at my very first ever convention here at Super BitCon. That was the first time I ever saw it. It was right there on the table. It was like literally like $25, and I picked it up. And what's funny about this copy is that it looks a little, the label doesn't look all that good. So I was hoping this is the legitimate copy. Maybe it is. I don't know. I should have. In fact, I think I bought that before I even got a 32X because I was thinking I was going to get one later, and now I can't play it. Yeah, I cannot play this game, and there's no other way of playing this game. See, I actually did try at one point in time to do emulation. Now, I don't know whether it's because of the ROM that I have, but for some odd reason, that too doesn't want to work. And I've tried everything on that one. I've tried modding a PS3, I've tried modding a Wii, I even have run emulators on my PC, whatever the case may be. Hell, I even have a modded Wii U. I have modded everything that can run emulators that could possibly run them, even on a PC. And still, that one cannot run. So it may be the ROM itself. But either which way, there's no way, as of right now, that I could play Knuckles Chaotix. And another thing that sucks about it is that, and I don't want to download another ROM, and the possibility that I might get a virus or something on my computer, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, as of right now, the dream is still a dream. I have no way of playing Knuckles Chaotix. Maybe, hopefully, one day I will find me another 32X, which actually, you know what? No, sorry, that literally just popped in my head. Now finding a 32X is even getting harder to find. I've seen them on eBay for $300 plus. And I just talked about eBay releasing this year too. I've seen on eBay, I've seen them go up towards the $200, $300, $400. They're now almost double, quadruple what I paid for this one. I paid for this one like, I think like $5 at a, yeah, I did pay $5 at a pawn shop or a thrift store. I'm sorry. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store. And now they're like 32Xs are super expensive for some odd reason. And I've heard they barely work. This one didn't work. It worked at one point in time and now it doesn't work now. The dream is still a dream. But luckily for me, I still had another dream. And that dream here is this system. I have here is the Sega or the JVC XI. This is a very rare console. I found this at a game exchange. I saw this one. It was like $200. They showed me it played and everything like that. I traded all my games, traded some games, extra games I didn't really need for this system. And I've been wanting to play on this system too. It's around the same time as 1995, I heard about this system. And so I figured whenever I have a chance to get one, I'm going to play it. And so I finally was able to find me one. I got some games here. We have Who Shot Johnny Rock, Dracula, Dragon's Lair, and I can't spell the last one. But anyways, yeah, I got some games here. So yeah, I am beyond excited. This is another dream of mine to play Sega. I really loved Sega at the time. Anything with Sega I liked. Sega Game Gears, Sega Genesis, all this Sega stuff. I really liked Sega at the time because of Sonic. So yes, I'm excited to play this one. This was another dream of mine. I cannot wait to play this one. I can't wait to dive into this system and try it out for you guys and see if it's really worth the price.